The PMDG 737 for MSFS 2024 is here. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to the long-awaited PMDG 737. We are in the 737-800. It's just been released. We're not going to go into the dramas that seem to surround PMDG and prices and things like that. All we know at the moment is, or all I can tell you at the moment is, that it's a 60% discount if you are an owner of this variant in 2020. That makes it $30. For me, 737 is my go-to aircraft in the sim. It always has been, and I've missed it in 2024. I like the iFly, but the NG was the first aircraft that I properly learned how to fly in flight sim back in FSX. So I have very much missed it, so it's good to have it back. And yeah, we're going to take it on a short flight from lovely GSX. We're going to take it from a short flight here in Glasgow over to Amsterdam with KLM. There is 3 of us sitting here, which is obviously not what would generally be happening, but that's okay. I have to say, this isn't a review or anything like that. There's plenty of videos out there where I'm sure you can make your own opinion of whether you want to purchase the aircraft or not, but it looks good, and I'm just so glad to have it back in the sim. I think they said they've still got some things they want to tweak. Thank you again, GSX. They've still got some things they want to tweak, apparently, which is fine, I suppose. But yeah, I have to say, I think it does look pretty good. The modelling and things like that's always very good from PMDG. But yeah, I've just installed it. I've set up the controls, installed the nav data on the EFB, loaded in SimBrief on the EFB, and that is it. I haven't taken it for a flight or anything like that. So this is very much my first impressions of the aircraft. And yeah, we will see how we get on then. Let's, without further ado, jump into the flight deck, where it is incredibly loud, and I have no idea what is making it so loud. I think it's the ground power unit, to be honest, so I hope you can hear me over that, because it's quite annoying actually. IRSs are already aligned, as I said. Already got the SimBrief route in on the tablet. We're in pounds, so we've got to change that. So it's aircraft displays, it's still in the same place, it is kilograms, lovely. Okay, so with that, we'll double check the overhead panel, yaw dampers on, all of this is correct. Cruising at 350 today, and I'm pretty sure the Amsterdam landing altitude is 0. I'm sure Amsterdam actually sits below sea level. Could be totally wrong in that. Yeah, it does. So 0 on the landing altitude. Can leave everything here as it is at the moment. Put that wee switch down. Can fire the window heats on. We'll leave the probes for now, and we will go down to the FMC. Pause in it. We're at Glasgow. That's Echo Golf Papa Foxtrot. We'll do route. There's that GSX being annoying. It is route. Glasgow to Amsterdam, which is Echo Hotel Alpha Mike. We'll go flight plan request, SimBrief, set payload, set fuel, lovely, select the route. It's going to request that in for us. Do have some issues with camera changing still in Sim Update 4. That's obviously not a PMDG issue, that is a sim issue, so we can load that in saying the route is ready. Let that load in. We are out of runway 23. We're going to activate and execute. We'll do the departure. We're out of 23 on this SID here. Go back to init ref, 0 fuel weight, reserves are 3, Cost index, I've no idea, we'll go with 33. Cruising at 350, we'll execute that. N1 limit, we can do that on the EFB, so we can go to performance tool, import 23, port from aircraft, import the weather, calculate. So we are takeoff 1 at 39, so takeoff 1, did I say 39? Yes, 39, like so. Takeoff, it'll be flaps 5, put the CG in, 144549, 5.11 on the trim, so we'll just dial that in now. That'll be close enough. And that is set. We can do the arrival into the dam. So we are, it's a plan for 23 right, I think. Sorry, 18 right, but we're going to use 18 centre so we don't have to taxi for as long. And the arrival it's using is a good question. The Lambs at 2 Alpha, this one. We'll not put a transition in, I don't think, because we're just going to. Yes, that looks like that should be okay. Yeah, that looks good to me, that'll do for us. We'll just check there's no other discontinuities, which there is not. Grand. We will set the QNH, which if I just get the weather at Glasgow is 9 or 2 on the QNH. 992. Which can't be right. What is this sim doing? The weather should be live. There we go. It's just the time that I've changed. I want this to be in the daylight, even though local where I am right now it's 10:30 in the evening, which is what it would be in Glasgow. So I just wanted it to be light for this so we could see the aircraft. So go back to the map page. As I say, the sounds are really loud in here. I think it's the GPU, as I say, that's making all the sound. It's 6 degrees Celsius apparently. It's saying 7 there, which is fine, close enough. I think the weather is synced now. Okay, with that, we will fire the APU on. Don't know if that was enough to get that to start spooling. It was. There goes the EGT. Let's go outside and see if we can listen to the APU spool up. From what I've seen in the streams, the sounds do sound a lot better than they were in the 2020 version. I have to say, in 2020 I had a free FlightSim.to sound pack, which I really enjoyed. I never had the Boris audio pack. But from what I've heard on streams, these sound night and day compared to the default in 2020. Sounds good if you ask me. Sounds very good indeed. Okay, with that, we can. I'm actually just back from Amsterdam as well. That's the other reason I wanted to do this flight. So literally on this KLM service on it was a 737-900 on the way out. And on an 800 on the way back, so literally as of a couple of days ago. So anyway, APU's on. Go over to the APU generators. We will go to the ground surfaces. We're going to set the brakes and we're going to release the ground power. That was what was making noise. We'll get rid of the chocks. We'll ask GSX to prepare us for pushback. It's going to do all that itself anyway. I think I read that they were talking about removing the GSX integration as well due to like issues. I have to say GSX has been sketchy at best recently. Apparently it's got a major memory leak now, so I've enabled the setting for it to disable in the cruise, so we don't have a memory leak, which I think was causing me performance issues at the end of my last video. We can go to InitRef. I just want to double check the V2 speed was 149, so we'll put that in. We'll go straight to 15, 150. We'll put the runway heading in. Whoa.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
See, it's been ages since I've flown the 7.3, the NG anyway. But you don't forget how to fly this. This is the first one that I learned to fly, which is why I'm so excited to have it back in the sim. Auto brake can go to RTO. So LNAV, VNAV's arm, flight director's on.
Locking gear.
We're going to fire all the fuel pumps on. We will turn the packs off, put the APU bleed on, and prep for our departure. Fire the logo light on, I suppose. And we're going to go right.
Release parking brakes.
Anti-collision light on. Brakes off.
Push. All engines clear. Start at will.
And here we go. Are we going to push back? I thought we were going to have an issue with pushback there. I was like, please no. Please don't do this to me. Here we go. Okay, so engine 2 to ground. Anti-collision light was on, yep. Seatbelt signs are on. We'll leave the hydraulics until we are finished with pushback. Waiting for 2.5 roughly. There it goes, and let's listen to these engines. I have to say I was sitting behind the wing when I went recently, so anyway, that sounded like a good start. So we can go engine 1 to ground. The sounds in the flight deck sound a lot better, a lot crisper. Just going to put the transponder all the way on as well, why not? Missed the 2.5, my bad. Just wait for GSX to stop us so I can put the brakes on.
Please set parking brakes.
Brakes are on. The engine kind of heat effect I think's a bit much, but I think I've seen that in the streams, and I don't know if they said that was being worked on, I'm not sure. But yeah, it is a bit much just when you start the engines, personal opinion. The other thing that I thought sounded a bit off was the flaps, but I have to say the 7.3 that I was on the other day, the flaps sounded incredibly quiet, or the quietest on a 737 I've ever heard anyway. Anyway, pushback's finished. We can put the hydraulic pumps on now. We can put the packs back to auto, put the isolation valve in auto, bleeds on, APU bleed off. Put the starter switches to continuous. Click the B button. Why not? We'll go flaps 5. They sound a bit louder. I haven't watched any streams recently. They sound louder than what they were. Maybe a little bit quiet. I'm not sure. But as I say, the aircraft I was on the other day, they sounded the quietest I've ever heard on any 737 I've been on, so it probably does vary from aircraft to aircraft. Do a flight control check. All seems free and correct. He's got the pin. We can go over to the engine generators as well. APU off, taxi light on. I feel like I'm rushing through this. Hopefully we've not forgotten anything. Flaps 5 set, we'll just go to the FMC, go to the climb page here. Yeah, I think we are ready to rock and roll, so here we go. These sound night and day compared. I cannot believe how different these are to the default from 2020. These are night and day. Obviously Boris makes some great audio packs, but I think these sound pretty good, to be honest with you. I would say when I sat, I couldn't hear quite as much of a whine, like a whine of the engines from this far back, but no, honestly they are much better. The wing flex looks a lot better as well. No, so far so good. Just need to deal with my horrendous taxiing job now. So runway 23 is the other end of the airport here, so we're going to take a right turn. I don't know why there's an A380 over there. An A380 would not park there. That British Airways on the left there is where the A380, or no it's not actually, that 2A. In fact no, there's nothing parked where the Dreamliner, oh my goodness, can't speak. There's nothing parked where the A380 would usually park. Interesting. That's definitely going to be hanging out onto the taxiway, I reckon, so we'll just try and ignore it. Making sure the auto throttle button was working, which it is. So we're looking for 89.8 on the N1 for departure, so not full power or anything, but still a high enough N1 that we should get a good feel of the engine sounds. I nearly forgot to start the replays, which would have been a disaster. That's the replay going. Forgot to start Volanta, did I? No, I did not. My Volanta schedule says we're late because I thought this aircraft would be out by 6 o'clock local time here. Here we are 4 hours, nearly 5 hours later. So we're using FlyTampa Amsterdam as well, which does not have an official 2024 version. However, there is a mod on flightsim.to which apparently kind of tries to help with some of the issues that present themselves in 2024. Unofficial, obviously. So hopefully that should make Amsterdam Airport look okay for us, despite it not being a native add-on and not officially supported. I don't know why that A380 is parked at the general aviation ramp, but it is what it is. My taxiing is horrendous. These rudder pedals are far too sensitive. That wing flex is a lot better. I still think it could be more defined, personally. Again, I think on the ground, I think it does bounce around a lot more than you would maybe think. Like, don't get me wrong, it is bouncing about a bit, but I do think it could be a little bit more defined. This has felt like the longest taxi in the world, and this isn't even a particularly big airport. Wait till we get to Amsterdam. Okay, so here we are. We don't appear to have anything coming in on the approach. I think because of the time of night it is, we shouldn't deal with too many traffic issues, because in real life it's getting late. Okay, we'll put weather radar on this side, we'll put terrain on the first officer's side. Landing lights, come on. Strobe lights on, wing light on. Ding the cabin. Slow us down as we turn here. And I think we'll just go for a rolling takeoff. Okay, that'll do. Close enough. Auto throttle on. Chrono 40%. And take off. Here we go. Thrust is set. There's 80. Try and keep it on the centre line. There's V1.
V1.
Rotate. Positive rate. Gear is coming up. Start trimming. Oh wow. We will try and follow that flight director a little bit as much as we can. I think it's demanding a bit of a high pitch. So let's plug into 230. Bring the nose down. That's climb thrust, which has actually increased the N1. I'm actually going to put the autopilot in now. Command A. We are going to altitude intervene all the way up to our cruise of 350. But first we're going to go flaps up, and I want a wing view for that. Look at that. We can go flaps all the way up. There we go. Okay, so after departure we can put the taxi lights off and put the engine starts back to off. Auto brake can go off. I don't know if this, because of the way I use the gear on my yoke, it won't let me put it into the off position, but it's fine, it doesn't make any difference. But we are up and away. And leave the seatbelts and things like that for now. I think the sounds maybe could do with a bit more bass. I don't know, it sounds a bit tinny. Not bad by any stretch, but just a bit tinny. But much improved over the 2020 version, I have to say. We can set standard pressure now, once, twice, 3 times automatically. We'll dial in 350 now on the altitude, like so. There we go, and we'll be starting that left turn out, back on ourselves to start heading down east coast of the UK towards Amsterdam. Try and get all the wing views that I can. Actually just stop the replay recording as well. Hopefully that works okay for us. I'm hoping that'll look good. Through 10,000, lights coming off. Well, I keep you here for the turn. I'll keep you here for the turn, and then after this we'll go to hopefully some cruise shots for you. Yeah, this feels very, very good to have the 737NG back in the sim though. I've missed it. I do have 2020 installed, but I have pretty much fully swapped over to 2024. Can't be bothered going on to 2020 and resetting up control profiles and things like that for one aircraft, so it's good when we see the stuff that we have in 2020 finally moving on to 2024. Anyway, that's the turn. It's going to be a long turn out, so what I'll do is I'll leave you here as the weather does a nice subtle change. Yes, I will leave you here, and I will see you when we're on the approach down into Amsterdam, and hopefully leave you just now with some cruise shots. See you on the approach. On the approach down to Amsterdam Schiphol Airport, just passing through flight level 110 just now, and there's some pretty spicy weather out there, as maybe not this wing view, but as some of these wing views will let you see. I'll just give you a rundown of what the METAR actually says at the moment. So the winds are 210 and 21, gusting to 31 knots. Visibility is fine, and it's currently light rain. So this could be a bit of an interesting approach. I actually didn't even read the METAR before I started the flight, to be honest. This is the first I really looked at it. So this could be an interesting first landing in the 7.3 for 2024. So just about to pass through flight level 100, so what we're going to do is fire all the landing lights on as we pass through 10,000. And yeah, this could definitely be a spicy landing. Look at that weather. Incredible. So yeah, in terms of the approach, obviously we're not on it line, no ATC or anything, so I've just set it up for quite a fairly straight in approach, maybe a bit of a difficult, quite sharp last right turn, but nothing that the aircraft shouldn't be able to handle, I would have thought. Anyway, we have been in the air for just over an hour. The minimums are in 188 on the barrel. We'll go with auto brake 2 for the arrival. I've already put the init ref in, so we're flaps 30 for arrival. 149 is the VREF, so we'll add some onto that for the wind. And other than that, I've also put the ILS frequency in along with the course for the localizer. But yeah, apart from that, everything else is set up. Just going to start the replay recording. Again, I've no idea how it's going to look or how it's going to handle the replays. If it's anything like the other, the 777, it should be okay for replays, but I guess you'll find out. If there's any decent replays, I might upload separate videos to the channel that are just wing views, etc. I won't put them all in this. You'll get little snippets here and there, but I might upload separate wing views and outside external views to the channel as well, just so you can have another look at the aircraft. But yeah, we're set up. There's not actually too much to mention. Should also put the seatbelt signs on, I'd imagine. That would help. We shouldn't have to worry about any icing or anything. Didn't even consider that in departure. Probably should have given the temperature, but it's 13 degrees Celsius down in Amsterdam, so already up to 8 degrees here, so shouldn't be dealing with any icing conditions. Just coming in over the channel. Start to see the coastline there of mainland Europe. But this weather could certainly be interesting. That METAR was reported 19 minutes ago, so we're probably going to expect something like that. Starting to get a bit of weather depicted on the weather radar just over here as well, which I'm assuming is that over there. But yeah, it's certainly a mess of clouds, that is for sure. Got the windmills in the sea there. Yeah, some interesting weather, that's for sure. We're not using Rex Atmos Core. I don't think it works with Sim Update 4 yet. So I think some of the colours are a little bit all over the place, but still looks pretty good if you ask me. I don't know if the HDR is going to record correctly, because I noticed on the way out I was using slightly wrong settings for recording. Should still look okay, but I don't think the HDR will show, which is fine. It seems to take YouTube about 3.5 years to process HDR now when I upload it, so. But we'll see, it might, I don't know. Yeah, so just under 15 miles to run until that final turn. About to go through the clouds. The other thing I like about the 7.3 is it has this decel point, which basically just helps. It's a good timing spot for when you get flaps and things out, which I like about the 7.3 as well. I just prefer flying the 7.3 over the Airbuses, again, only because it was the first aircraft that I learned to fly in the sim. So it feels like home, shall we say. It obviously helps are common as muck, and you see them everywhere. So we're just coming up to that decel point just directly. Going to arm the localizer. Tell the cabin crew to sit down. Don't like that cell seems to be depicting pretty much directly above the airport at the moment. Bang on with the glide slope diamond there as well. As we come in, I don't know if this takes us directly. I was going to say, does this take us directly over Amsterdam? But this is probably not Amsterdam we're over at the moment. No, it's not. After checking the map, I just wanted to double check. It is not. I didn't think so. We'll go standard pressure. I have no idea what that noise is, but we're going to go flaps 1. He says, yep, there they go. Flaps 1 set. What is that noise? No idea, but we'll just pretend we can't hear it. We've got the localizer. Are we going to grab the glide slope or are we too high? Just about grab the glide slope, which is good. We'll go flaps 5. Bring that speed back. Everything up here seems good. 9 miles to go. We'll arm the speed brake. Starter switches to continuous. Oh, not flight, continuous. And that was established.
2500.
You can see the pappies of the runway. Look at that crosswind, 43 knots at the moment. We're going to go gear down, flaps 15. Put the VREF in, we'll go 154, maybe should go a little bit higher, but we'll go with that at the moment. Look at this approach. We'll go double check the speed, flaps 30. There come the throttles. Excellent. That is us established straight into this green bubble of weather. Okay, line of lights on, seatbelts are on, starters to continuous, gears down 3 greens, flaps 30, auto brake 2, speed brake armed. We are good to go, and I think we will take it manually from here and see how she flies. Here we go, wish me luck. Still 37 knots coming across at the moment. It's mostly down the front of the nose, which is good. Just try and keep it on the flight directors. There we go. We're back on glide slope. I also like about the 7.3 that you fly with the throttles manually. Much prefer it. Dropping a little bit, so bring the throttle up. Trying to keep it roughly at 154. Still a little bit low, but we're not too bad. Increasing the throttle. Speed's coming down a bit, and we're losing a bit of height just to get the height back. Aircraft's trimmed pretty well. Back on glide. Just keep an eye on the speed, going a little bit fast.
Approaching minimums.
Keep an eye. Doing well so far.
Minimums.
Ignoring the pappies now, ignoring the glide slope, just aiming for that touchdown zone. We're going a little bit fast.
100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Clear it. And we're down. Pull over to the left. Whoa. My reverse throttle isn't working. I will try and figure that out. Manual braking. 70. 60 and and welcome to Amsterdam 1 hour and 11 minutes later. Yeah, I don't know why the reverse throttle didn't work there. Seems to be on a different axis maybe. Anyway, we're going to slow her down. There's that noise stopped, whatever that noise was. Welcome to Amsterdam. We're a little bit all over the place there on the arrival. On the landing once we got onto the runway, but we'll take it. We'll get the flaps coming up. Speed brakes in. So, as to be expected at Amsterdam, I've got a fairly long taxi. Not as long as a taxi could have been had we landed on 1-8 right, which I did in real life, and it took us about 15 minutes to get to the gate. So we'll go on to Alpha here. And once we get around this corner we'll clean up a little bit more. Some interesting noises when you turn. I don't know if that's me turning too fast for the speed. Right, okay, so strobe lights come off, wing light off, starters back to off. We don't need to start the APU yet, but we will just in case I forget. And I'll also end the replay recording. I really hope that worked. Anyway, let's get a move on up to the gate. Don't know why the engine heat effect looks so weird on the ground. So I'm going to take this first left up here onto Alpha. I'm going to try and park the aircraft roughly where it was parked when I came a few days ago. Take this left here. I don't know if that was a hard landing or not. It was hard to tell actually. I think it might have been. I feel like we may need a bit of throttle to get up this hill. As we go over the bridge, over the highway. And the good thing is we didn't even need to deal with any AI air traffic there that was getting in the way. Performance is still a bit sketchy. Try and stay in the centre line, Christopher. I'm just going to see if... right, we want the Delta Peter. We're going to go Delta 18. No. We'll go with KLM. We're going to take the second left. No, we're not. We're going to take the first left. Are we? I don't think it matters, actually. Right, I've selected that gate. I think it's close to the gate I was arriving at, so I'm going to try and... I've got the charts up beside me, but not the detailed stand one, just the overall airport one, so I'm trying to roughly remember where we parked when I went. I find it so difficult to control with these rudder pedals. The APU is online, so we'll just flick over to the APU gens. I'll be honest, I've already forgotten what gate I selected. Delta 18. It's a very big airport, Schiphol. Right, I think these are the Delta gates over here. There's 16, there's 18, there we are. Excellent. Now I'm just working out how I think we can come down. Yeah, we'll just go down here and in there. Take this turn here. Yeah, if you go below 10 knots and fire the gear round, that sound of the gear dragging isn't quite as horrific. We'll just take that taxi light off as well. I have put a GSX profile in, so we don't have the same issue we had at Geneva, if you watched that video. An Air Transat with yellow engines. Okay. And we'll take that turn. Come on, keep going, keep going, keep going, and stop. That will do it. Parking brake on, engine cut-offs off, hydraulic pumps off, APU bleed on, seatbelt signs off, probe heats off, take the most of the fuel pumps off there, fire the window heats off, anti-collision light can come off. And we can ask GSX for some deboarding. And with that, welcome to Amsterdam Schiphol Airport. So there you go, that was the first flight in the PMDG 737NG for Flight Sim 2024. Have to say, I thought that was pretty smooth. I'm not going to put ground power on, we'll just keep that incredibly loud APU on. Yeah, that was good. I enjoyed it. It's good having the NG back in the sim. Yeah, I'm not getting into the price and all of that drama. I want it in the sim, so I paid for it with my discount, and I am happy personally. But yeah, that was the flight. I'll get the landing rate for those of you that have stuck around to the end, which was -178. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. But yeah, if you've got any more suggestions on where you want me to take a flight, assuming that obviously I've got an aircraft, a decent high fidelity aircraft for it, and some decent sceneries, I'll try my best. It does take me a lot of time to make these videos, so I'll get round to it when I get a chance. I will be flying the 7.3 a little bit for the moment, because I have definitely missed it in the sim, so forgive me if there's a few 7.3 videos coming up. But yeah, as always, thank you very, very much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.